La presidencia de Donald Trump no es nada más que una maniobra publicitaria tras otra maniobra publicitaria. Nunca intenta lograr nada que no sea beneficiarse a sí mismo o atacar a sus oponentes políticos. Solo quiere montar un gran espectáculo y fingir que es un tipo duro. Por esa misma razón lo vemos asistir a tantos eventos deportivos. Pero ahora, con el movimiento MAGA volviéndose en su contra, todo por culpa del escándalo de Jeffrey Epstein, parece que esto ya no va a suceder. Porque lo que ocurrió ayer probablemente se convierta en la norma. Y esto es que Donald Trump fue abucheado sin piedad en su cara, en un clip del torneo de la Copa Mundial de la FIFA, clip que te voy a mostrar en este video. Ahora, antes de mostrarte este clip, MAGA siempre habla de sacar la política del deporte, lo contrario de lo que hace Donald Trump, y lo contrario de lo que él dice. Hay un clip que yo considero que es muy importante, acompáñame por favor.
But look at the soccer team, the women's soccer team, all of a sudden they're not like they were supposed to win the gold medal, but you know the word woke means loser. If you're woke, you're going to lose. And ultimately, we're not going to let woke make this country into a loser. But you watch that, and I watched some of the people, and I was very proud that some of the young women on the soccer team stood up proudly, and they stood up proudly against all odds with what they have to put up with on that team. But the word woke is loser, and our soccer team did not get the gold medal, and they frankly didn't even come close to it. And we are... look, the country doesn't like it. I don't like it. And a lot of people have turned off the sports. LeBron James, they don't like him. The NBA didn't do great, but they did better after he was out. They don't want this. There's enough of it. They want to watch sports. They want to watch great athletes. They don't want politics in the middle of their sports games. And that includes the announcers, too. I hear some of these announcers, they're not big shots, that I can tell you, but I listen to what they say. And you just want to turn off the game, and many people do. You see the ratings, how bad they are.
Así es, ese es Donald Trump atacando al equipo femenino de fútbol de Estados Unidos. Todo por ser woke. Desde hace un par de años Donald Trump decide cuándo algo puede y cuándo no puede suceder. Cuándo queremos políticas del deporte y cuándo no las queremos. Donald Trump prácticamente quiere meterse en todas las conversaciones, pero no le gusta cuando estas conversaciones no le favorecen. Y parece que eso ya no será el caso en nada de aquí adelante, porque la base de Donald Trump se ha volteado por completo. Este escándalo de Jeffrey Epstein ha provocado algo que nunca había pasado. Y esa es la razón por la que Kash Patel, el director del FBI, y Dan Boningo están tratando de alejarse, porque saben que necesitan al movimiento MAGA de su lado para poder seguir lucrándose de ellos, ya que lucrar es de lo que realmente se trata MAGA. Solo escuchen a Donald Trump antes de los eventos de la FIFA. Miren el clip, por favor.
And so, FIFA is very, very interested under my presidency to develop a FIFA coin, to do it from here, from America, and to conquer the 5 billion soccer fans in the world. So if there's anyone here who is interested to team up with FIFA, here we are, together with the United States of America, and we will conquer the world of soccer with the FIFA coin. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That coin, that coin may be worth more than FIFA. In the end, it could be quite a coin, actually. Huh? Anyway.
Así que Donald Trump es tan estafador que tiene al jefe de la FIFA hablando sobre una moneda. Y Donald Trump se emociona al escuchar una nueva forma de ganar dinero. Bueno, de ganar dinero a costa de la gente. Esto es realmente absurdo. Pero lo que no es para nada absurdo es lo molesta que estaba la multitud con Donald Trump. Y todo esto durante y después del partido. Y te voy a mostrar en clips cómo fue abucheado ruidosamente. Donald Trump, abucheado por los fanáticos del fútbol en la final de la Copa Mundial de la FIFA. Las cámaras enfocaron a Donald Trump en la final de la Copa Mundial de la FIFA el domingo, pero no todos estaban contentos de verlo. La multitud lo abucheó fuertemente cuando apareció en la pantalla gigante saludando, lo que hizo que la transmisión cambiara rápidamente a otra imagen. Según Matt Visor, jefe de la oficina de la Casa Blanca del Washington Post, un periodista del CBS también informó que hubo abucheos muy audibles cuando Donald Trump apareció en pantallas del MetLife Stadium. Todo esto en Nueva Jersey, durante la final entre el PSG y el Chelsea. Trump salió a ver el partido en el primer aniversario de un intento fallido de asesinato en Butler, Pensilvania. Pero el palco de Donald Trump estaba ocupado por la primera dama Melania Trump, la fiscal general Pam Bondi, la secretaria de Seguridad Nacional Kristi Noem, el secretario de Transporte Sean Duffy, así como estrellas del fútbol americano como Tom Brady, el magnate de los medios Rupert Murdoch, y también estaba presente el enviado especial del presidente de la FIFA, Steven Witto, quien le dijo a los reporteros que planeaba reunirse con funcionarios cataríes para conversaciones de paz sobre Gaza. Pueden ver el informe aquí sobre cómo buchearon a Donald Trump, pero también puedes escucharlo siendo bucheado mientras sube el escenario. Miren el clip, por favor. Esto fue una humillación definitiva para Donald Trump, tanto así que el presidente de la FIFA, como puedes ver aquí, tuvo que darle a Donald Trump una medalla por sus pequeños sentimientos heridos. Exactamente, Estados Unidos tiene un pequeño niño malcriado y caprichoso como presidente. Es constantemente vergonzoso como todos tienen que adular a Donald Trump, porque Donald Trump prácticamente es un bebé. Y esto solo demuestra lo poco que los líderes mundiales realmente piensan de Donald Trump. Cualquiera que esté en un puesto muy alto del gobierno sabe que simplemente tiene que complacer los deseos de Donald. Así es como le gusta a Donald Trump, quiere usar y abusar de su poder, especialmente en el escenario mundial. Algo que Christy Noden criticó duramente de Marco Rubio. Intervención que creo que es muy pertinente mostrarte. Miren el clip, por favor.
I think what you've done to shutter USAID is illegal, but I also think it's bad policy, and I do think it's important for us to all be operating with the same set of facts. And the fact is not that only 12% of taxpayer dollars are ending up in the hands of the people who really need it on the ground. Mr. Secretary, I wanted to talk to you about the president's personal business interests. During his first term, he made the decision to not enter into any new business deals during his presidency, that Trump-affiliated businesses would not enter into any foreign business arrangements. And that made sense because obviously it can be confusing for foreign governments to know how to try to win favor with the U.S. government if they have one route, making concessions that are good for U.S. national security, and they also have another route, which is perhaps helping the president's business interests. The president obviously changed that policy, and in this administration, his business interests are announcing new agreements and new investments into those business interests by foreign governments. And I think it stands to reason that that creates a real problem for foreign policy, and it creates a problem for foreign governments in which they don't exactly know what the best way is to try to get on good terms with the U.S. government and with the White House. Is it to do what's right for American national security, or might it also be to do a business deal with the President of the United States or the entities that he controls? Just to clarify, when the President's businesses are engaged in negotiations, for instance, with the UAE on their stablecoin business. There was this big investment announced recently. You are not part of those negotiations. Those are being done by the president's family or those representing the president's business.
Yeah, I'm not aware the president's involved in managing any business. He's, other than the presidency of the United States, his family is allowed to make business deals. They continue to operate the enterprises that his family ran. I also don't accept the notion that these deals, that, for example, in Saudi Arabia or the UAE or Qatar, had anything to do with the president. For example, the Qatar bought $200 billion worth of airplanes from Boeing. The president's not as far as I know, not a shareholder, certainly doesn't own Boeing. So the overwhelming, if you look at the deals that were structured, they were involved in investments in the United States. That's the deals he signed, and or investments in, for example, the UAE or Saudi Arabia involving artificial intelligence.
UAE did announce a massive investment in World Liberty Financial, and World Liberty Financial is controlled by the president. And the president does actively engage in these businesses. He uses his social media to market the businesses that are being run by his family. I mean, just go on to his social media feed and you will see him marketing his meme coins. So that is the president of the United States. That is not his son's doing.
But that, just to be clear, that was not part of this. That was not an announcement as part of this trade visit that was conducted into the Middle East.
Well, whether or not it was made during the time the president was there are obviously business deals being done between Trump entities and these countries. Let me ask you about the one that is probably most confusing to this committee, which is the planned gift of a plane to either the United States government or the president. Is it your understanding that this luxury plane that Qatar has offered the president, and the president has announced he is willing to accept, is a gift to the United States government, or is it a gift ultimately to the president himself that he can use in his library?
Well, you'd have to talk to the Department of Defense, because this is a replacement or at least a temporary bridge plane for Air Force One, the new Air Force One, which is way off its delivery schedule. And so that would have to be with the Air Force. They operate Air Force One. My understanding of it basically has been from the very beginning that this is a plane that was identified after talking to Boeing about what other planes around the world would fit the bill that are out there that could be used now. They identified the ones the Qataris had as an opportunity for one, and as a result, or the UAE had that as opportunity for one, and that's how that deal was.
And it's not your understanding that the plane ultimately will belong to the president or to the president's library after.
Well, I'm not involved at that level of it. I've never heard that before. What I've heard is that plane will replace Air Force One, which is an Air Force plane.
Let me ask you about the dinner that's happening this Thursday night. The president has offered access to him to the 200 top purchasers of his meme coin. Reports are that maybe about half or more of those individuals who will be meeting with him, many in a VIP reception, are foreigners. Do you have a list of those foreign individuals who will be meeting with the president?
I don't. I don't know anything about. I didn't even know there was a dinner on Thursday night, so I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So you don't know whether any of the foreign individuals who are going to be meeting with the president this Thursday night, for instance, are on our list of sanctioned individuals, or whether any of those individuals have connections to, let's say, terrorist organizations abroad?
Well, I think if they had terrorist links, the Department of Homeland Security probably would not have allowed them into the country. But again, I don't even know there is a dinner on Thursday. You're asking me about something I don't know about.
Well, but listen, this is a dinner that the president is having. It is likely going to involve some very significant foreign interests. You have to be pretty wealthy in order to be able to get inside this dinner. Isn't that a relevant question for the Secretary of State?
Yeah, I'm not the social
which foreign
secretary,
interests are going to be speaking to the president? I mean, it's kind of naive to believe that they aren't going to be in that room talking about national security matters.
Well, I don't think that that's the case at all, because I would be aware if it was the case. The truth of the matter is I interact with government officials and others in governments of other countries. That's what I'll tell you, you're asking me about a dinner I don't know anything about. I can't answer you because I don't know anything about this dinner. It's the first I heard of it. Like I said, I don't keep the president's social schedule. It's not on my phone. It's not in my pocket. I don't even know. I can't comment on a dinner I know nothing about.
Yeah, I think that represents a real problem for this committee, because there is clearly a way around the State Department for foreign individuals of significant influence and wealth to be able to directly lobby the president of the United States.
But I don't think
your
that's
answer
fair.
is that you don't know this is happening.
Well, I don't know that there's a
That
dinner.
in and of itself is a
I don't know
problem.
that there's a dinner, and I don't know what the guest list is, but I can tell you.
Donald Trump está dirigiendo una administración llena de llorones y tramposos. Es increíblemente vergonzoso que estas sean las personas a cargo de Estados Unidos. Y esto simplemente significa que debemos de exponerlos aún más. Que es exactamente lo que hacemos con este programa. Así que si me quieres apoyar de alguna forma, te agradecería de todo corazón que le des like, compartas el video y te suscribas al canal. Como siempre lo digo, para mí lo más importante es tu opinión y me encantaría que la digas en los comentarios. Y está de más decirlo, pero si te gusta el contenido de política estadounidense y te gusta estar siempre informado, te va a encantar suscribirte al canal, ya que subo videos todos los días. Mi nombre es José Alvarado, soy economista y estoy comprometido a informarte diariamente. Nos vemos en el siguiente video. Adiós.